Something else significant about the recent developments, we're talking about the UAP hearings, and you got the Schumer bill where the Senate trying to get a law passed to require the United States government to give up UFO, UAP information, and all of this. I think we're really primed with these new additions that are going into the NDAA to see a transformation or a continued transformation over the UFO UAP narrative. What do I mean? You go back through the history, 1940s, 50s, and 60s, and the U.S. government had Project Blue Book, which was the kind of like official statement, not just from the U.S. government on UFOs, but really from the establishment on UFOs. There were some private organizations back then, NICAP, APRO, a bunch of others, but they were easily brushed aside because, hey, U.S. Air Force was looking into it, Project Blue Book. Well, what was the problem with that? Blue Book ended after 1969. There was no United States government official statement on this matter. And so that left the field open to all the private organizations, MUFON and others. That wasn't really a problem for a long time, but I think it's become a problem now. So what are we seeing? The US government is behind a complete rebranding of the subject of UFO to UAP. That's interesting. And we are now seeing all of these government people getting involved to take control over this. We've got NASA coming in. We've got the politicians now getting involved. We've got the military, DOD, making statements about all of this. You can see that they are now primed to be reconquesting the narrative of UFOs, now titled UAP. I don't think there's going to be any room for dissension on the future of the UFO subject. We're in the middle of a global revolution, in case you haven't bothered to look around, and I do not believe there's going to be any resistance that's going to be permitted to it on any level. That includes the UFO subject. Now, what are they going to do with testimony of people like Grush? That's really going to be an interesting thing to consider. I think David Grush is likely to be the victim of death by 1,000 cuts. I don't think that anyone in the major media is going to really try to go after him and wreck his credibility or smear him, but I think you're going to start seeing little things here and there to take him down a peg. Fravor and Graves, I think, are going to be off limits. They've got too much solid reputation to go after, but they're also really not going after the system in the same way that Grush is. You know, they're talking about encountering objects that are out there that are inexplicable and the like. Okay, the government can live with that. The military can live with that. What they can't live with are allegations from people like Grush that directly contradict their own guy at AARO, Sean Kirkpatrick, who's saying that, we don't have any bodies, we have no technology that we have seen, and here's Grush directly contradicting that. That, I don't think, will be permitted. Of course, even more importantly, Grush stating, for a fact, there are places that have this alien technology and bodies, and people have been killed and all of this. That, I don't think, is going to be allowed to stand. So somehow we're going to see that taken down. I predict that within a year's time, with the passage of the next NDAA, very likely we're going to be able to see some changes. Probably a statement by the U.S. government that, nope, we have not found any evidence of alien bodies or technology. Hasn't happened yet. A year from now, that's going to be my prediction. The other thing is that they will say, yeah, we have actually encountered a few things we cannot explain. We're going to continue to look into that. We'll get back to you. That is essentially what they've been saying all along. That's a defensible position for them. That's just like in a football game. You move the ball back 5 yards, you're still playing good defense, and you're getting ready to play some offense. I think that's going to be their position. Grush, I think, will be handled somehow. Death by 1,000 cuts for him. Fravor and Graves, I think, will be ignored. And when the new NDA comes out, we'll say a year from now, when all of the new laws are in place, we're going to be seeing a much greater, or at least a continued attempt at narrative control by the real establishment, that is U.S. military, U.S. intelligence community, backed by the financial groups and all of that. There's going to be a definite attempt by them to maintain control over the legacy media, which now includes even big tech, Facebook, YouTube, and the like. We, people in the UFO, UAP community are very excited over the congressional hearings. A lot of good stuff came out, but this is a long game, and this is not yet a victory for the UFO disclosure crowd. Not yet. We've got a long way to go.